Hey everybody, this is Ashton and Jordan from Show Me Vegas, and we're about to do something that we've actually never done.
That's right, we're staying at the famed Caesars Palace for the first time. Over 30 trips to Vegas and we've never done it. In this video, we're going to show you what it's like to stay at Caesars Palace in 2024, and we can't wait to get started.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You probably get this a lot. This isn't the real Caesar's Palace, is it?
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Checked in, settled in here at Caesars, and we've even had a chance to have dinner and lose $300 in the casino. Pretty standard night one. But since this is a new property for us, that means we've also never seen these rooms before. These are brand new to us, so let's start this video off with a room tour.
So there are several towers located here at Caesars. The room I'm going to show you is a premium studio located in the Augustus Tower. So as soon as you come into this room, you have your very own large foyer with a table and lamp. Past the foyer is this massive closet that also contains your room safe. And right over here to your right is the bathroom, but we'll come back to that. As soon as you come into this room, the first thing you're going to notice is that it is massive. It's about 700 square feet. So much room for activities.
Look at all this floor space. So much aerobics in here. So many activities.
So this room is the classic Caesars design. However, it does have several contemporary components throughout the room as well. So over here you do have a very large separate living room area with a lot of seating with this couch as well as 2 wing-back chairs over there. You also have your own dining room. You could double that as a workstation or have a really nice cup of coffee in the morning and have a really good view. So in this particular room, there is a large inviting king-size bed, and we actually did stay here last night. This was probably the best sleep I've ever had any stays in Las Vegas. So this room does have several outlets throughout it, but one really cool feature that we enjoyed was this Caesars phone charger over here. It has several different outlets, including USB. It also has a contactless phone charger. So one thing about this room that we do really also enjoy is it does have several cabinets and drawers throughout, so you can unpack most of your things. The only thing is these drawers are a little bit kind of college dorm room-like, but that's okay, at least some more storage. In this drawer right here, you do have your mini bar. Unfortunately, there is not a fridge for your personal use, at least in this room, which is kind of odd for a Caesars property not to have. But one really big plus for us is that it does come with a Keurig machine. So be sure and bring your own Keurig cups when you come, because that does save on a lot of money and time. All right, that's enough about the room. Let's go check out the bathroom, which they call a spa-like bathroom. So this is the bathroom that Caesars does label as spa-like. So So one thing about it is that it is very large. Over here you do have a massive jetted tub, and then over here you do have a large standalone shower. Water pressure and temperature are excellent. The vanity is a huge marble top with double sinks. It also does have a vanity mirror, makeup mirror over there. You also have a separate water closet for your own privacy. The last thing before you leave this room, you have this massive mirror to check yourself out before you head out for the night.
All right, that's a little look around the room. Now, Caesar's Palace is one of the biggest properties in Las Vegas, and it is always changing. So, as we always do, let's go downstairs and see what there is to eat, see, and do here at this property. First things first, everything everyone says about this property being massive is absolutely true. We're staying in the Augustus Tower. It takes a long time just to get to the casino floor.
Let's kick it off right here in the main lobby, which is probably the most iconic hotel lobby in Las Vegas, if not the entire world. So many classic TV and movie scenes have been filmed here, including that classic scene from The Hangover, where we found out, no, this is not the real Caesar's Palace.
Did Caesar live here?
No.
I didn't think so.
Right outside the main lobby, you're going to find the Green Fairy Garden. That is the circus tent where Absinthe is performed. We saw that show several years ago, and we wanted to see it on this day, but the cheapest tickets we could find were $189 a piece. Also out front, you're going to find Hell's Kitchen by Gordon Ramsay. We ate there last night, and we will be making a separate video about that meal, so subscribe so you don't miss it. Next to that is a Purple Zebra Daiquiri Bar. Lastly, before we go back inside, the fountains out front of Caesar's Palace are certainly iconic. These are the very fountains that Evel Knievel nearly died trying to jump over decades ago. You can see on the outside of the building here some of the current headliners at the Coliseum here at Caesars: Jerry Seinfeld, Adele, and Garth Brooks. They did a great job when they remodeled this main entrance here at the property. This makes quite a striking impression when you first arrive here at Caesar's Palace. The statue of Caesar has been upgraded and put on a pedestal. They also have a new table games area and a new lobby bar. The remodel also included a refresh of the iconic table games area just inside the main entrance. Now, just like everything else at this hotel, the casino is absolutely enormous. That table games area I mentioned before, that's where you're going to usually find the higher limit tables. Last night on a Friday night, most of those tables were $50 and $100 and up. There are table games spread all throughout this casino, which stretches all the way to the forum shops. That's where you're generally going to find the lower limit tables. Those still, on the weekends, are going to run about $25. Near the table games area, you'll find the Palace Court slots. That's the high limit gaming area. The sports book here is one of the more impressive on the Strip. A huge center bar, tons of screens, as well as Omnia nightclub right next door. Love the entrance to Omnia. This wood paneling is really impressive, and the huge wooden doors make for quite an entrance. The poker room here is not huge, but it is quite popular. That place has been mostly full since we first checked in on Friday. Buried almost right in the middle of this hotel is Nobu Hotel. This is one of those hotel within a hotel concepts, super high end. It's got its own tower here at Caesars, and right next to that is Nobu Restaurant, which is a high-end Asian restaurant. There's also another one of those in Vegas now. It's over at Paris. Right here in the Forum Casino, you're going to find the entrance to the Coliseum at Caesar's Palace. The Coliseum is one of the better venues on the Strip for music. Current headliners are, of course, Adele and Garth Brooks, Jerry Seinfeld also there, Rod Stewart. Used to be the home of Celine Dion, and you'll find that right outside the slots in the Forum Casino. Speaking of the Forum Casino, this is now one of our favorite places in Las Vegas to gamble. And why? Well, because we actually won there, and we can't say that about too many places. Yesterday, we played about 2 hours in this part of the casino and left up 500. So like I said, this is our new favorite place. Just this signage alone right here gives you a little bit of an idea how hard it is to navigate this property. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do. Back here right next to Dominique Ansel is the Coliseum Tower elevators. This used to be known as the Forum Tower. It's newly remodeled and so newly renamed. Right outside the Coliseum Tower elevators, you're going to find Numbar, one of two daiquiri bars here on the property. The other one, of course, being Purple Zebra, which we saw outside. Back behind the Bacchanal Buffet is where you're going to find the famous Caesars pool area. This is filmed in November, and so the pool is totally closed for the season. Believe it or not, all Caesars properties close their pools down completely for the winter. Dining here at Caesars Palace pretty much starts with the Bacchanal Buffet. That's world famous, and if you want to see that in a video, I did that last summer and put it out on the channel. So if you want to see what there is to eat there, that's a great resource. Well, let's go have a look at what else there is to eat here at Caesars. Right outside the buffet here is Peter Luger Steakhouse. This is brand new to Caesars and brand new to Vegas, but certainly not brand new overall. A famous New York City steakhouse in business since 1887. Right across from that is Pronto by Giada. This is a great grab-and-go option. Good place to get coffee in the morning, as well as some small bites throughout the day. One of the newer additions to the dining scene here is Stanton Social Prime. Right outside the sports book is Amalfi by Bobby Flay. You'll see a trend of celebrity chefs here at Caesars properties. They've partnered with a lot of them. Gordon Ramsay Pub and Grill, one of two Gordon Ramsay restaurants here at Caesars Palace. The other one, of course, being Elle's Kitchen. Dominique Ansel, inventor of the cronut, if I'm not mistaken. A cronut is kind of a cross between a donut and a croissant, and let me tell you, they are glorious. One of the newest additions to the dining scene here at Caesars is Brasserie B. This is by Bobby Flay. Mr. Chow is high-end Chinese, and that's been here for a long time. Not only do you get a great meal there, but great views. It's actually upstairs. Beijing Noodle number 9. This restaurant has been here for many years. Now, no matter how much I show you in this video, it's still not going to give you a very good idea of how to find your way around because this is a confusing property. I do intend to do a full walkthrough of this property on the channel, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you see that one when it comes out. It's sure to be the longest walkthrough in the channel's history. In 3 nights at the property filming other videos, we didn't get to check in on this vlog as often as we would have liked. There are other videos out of this trip, so be sure and subscribe so you don't miss those. We would have recapped this stay in the room, but on the final morning we couldn't even get a late checkout, so... Alright, we're back home after a 3-day weekend at Caesars Palace. We've had a little time to digest the stay and we're ready to give you our overall thoughts. First and foremost, we would describe our stay at Caesars as just fine. It wasn't particularly memorable, it wasn't all that bad either, it was just kind of in between. And therein lies the problem, we think, with the current day Caesars Palace. This hotel seems to be living on reputation alone. It's a pop culture icon and it's the it place still on the Strip after all these years, but that's about where the experience ends for us. So let's go through the experience starting with the rooms. You saw the room tour. The room in the Augustus Tower that we had was okay. I wouldn't describe it as luxurious by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe at one time it was, but by 2024, it was okay at best, outdated at worst. And that's a problem because Caesars Palace is charging luxury prices. They're charging upper end prices for these rooms. Here's a look at what the prices were the weekend we were there. For an Augustus Tower Deluxe room, it was nearly $500 a night. Now our Caesars price was about $100 off of that. We did get upgraded to the premium studio, but the only difference was an extra 100 square feet and an extra window in the room. Otherwise, everything was the same as the deluxe room in the Augustus Tower. The rooms are huge. The decor is okay, although I did describe it a little bit as outdated. It was very clean, and all in all, there wasn't anything wrong with it.
That said, I don't think that room is worth anywhere near that price. I think you can find a better room for less money at any one of about 10 places on the Strip in 2024. Okay, let's talk about the casino a little bit. This has never been one of my favorite aspects of Caesars Palace, and staying there actually drove that home even more. The casino is massive and strung out. It's obviously that way because Caesars Palace was built over the period of several decades. Towers were added, wings were added. It has no continuity to it whatsoever. There are several different gaming areas that are completely different. It's almost as if you never know where to go to find a game that you're looking for, to find the table games, or to find your way back to your room depending on what tower you might be in. That said, we did like the selection of games and we actually won money at Caesars Palace. I know a lot of people online were telling us we were lucky. We have found over the course of the past year or so that our luck is a little bit better at Caesars properties than it is at MGM properties or other casino companies on the Strip. We did find some slot machines we've never seen before, and those are the ones we played, and those are the ones that paid us. One other note about the casino, I will say the cocktail service, the weekend we were there was better than I've seen in Las Vegas in years. As soon as we sat down on a machine, within a few minutes there was always one coming by. Drink service was great, and that is a huge plus. Alright, unfortunately we can't talk about the pool because our stay was in February and the pool was closed. Kind of odd that this past winter every Caesars property closed down their pools entirely. Usually Caesars Palace keeps at least one open during the winter, and I don't know if this is going to be a trend going forward or if this was a one-off, but it wasn't open at all. By the time you're seeing this video, it's going to be open very soon. And of course the Caesars Palace pool is supposed to be pretty epic. We've actually still never been to it in person, but of course like you, we've watched all the videos and seen the pictures. It looks terrific. Okay, about the restaurants at Caesars, this is one area that impressed me more than I thought it was going to. I think there's something about staying there and being in the building for 3 days in a row. You see more than you realized was actually there. The restaurant lineup at Caesars is actually really good. Now it is high end, of course, and they are celebrity chef centric. There are 2 Gordon Ramsay restaurants, there are a couple of Bobby Flay outlets. But that aside, there are some great options from Hell's Kitchen to Amalfi by Bobby Flay, Peter Luger, the brand new steakhouse, and of course the famous Bacchanal Buffet. If you're looking for a good meal, you're going to find it at Caesars Palace. Now you're probably not going to find a cheap one. There are really no mid-range restaurants, which is kind of strange, unless of course you want to go into the Forum Shops. We ate the first night at Joe's in the Forum Shops. It's a restaurant we've been wanting to try for a very long time, and boy are we glad we did. We thought it was outstanding, the service was impeccable, the food was great, and the price actually was pretty good. So I mentioned if you're looking for more mid-range options, you're going to want to go into the Forum Shops that are attached to Caesars. Otherwise, if you don't want to spend a mint on dining at Caesars, you're going to have to go to the food court or you're going to have to leave the property. So overall, I think the restaurant lineup at Caesars is pretty good, but as I mentioned, it definitely skews toward the upper end. Alright, let's talk about service and amenities. Now, we didn't have a lot of interaction with employees other than check-in and a couple of phone calls. Check-in was seamless and easy. They were very pleasant at the front desk. Now, you do always have the option to check in with the kiosks at Caesars. I hate those things. You've seen the videos in the past, you know that. We opted for in-person check-in and it went fine. From an amenity standpoint, our room did not have a fridge, and that's something Caesars used to be really known for, Caesars Entertainment as a whole. But they do seem to be going away from that. We had a mini bar and we did not have a fridge for our own personal use. We did actually though have a Keurig machine in the room, and we knew that we were going to have that, so we brought our own K-Cups, and that was a nice amenity that you're not going to find at most of the other brands on the Strip. If I have one gripe about the amenities at Caesars Palace, it's the Wi-Fi. This is a Caesars Entertainment policy company-wide. Only 2 devices per room can be connected to the Wi-Fi, which in 2024 is absolutely ridiculous. If you go over your 2 device per room limit, you're going to be charged an additional fee per day. Come on, Caesars Entertainment, what are we doing? It's 2024. This wouldn't be as big a deal if we had any cell reception in that room whatsoever, but we actually didn't. We both had one bar on our cell phones, and we couldn't even get web pages to load, so we needed the Wi-Fi. Which, like I said, this day and age, that's absolutely ridiculous, especially when they say that the Wi-Fi is included as part of your resort fee. Beyond that, they didn't even have it turned on, and I had to call downstairs and get connected to the IT help desk at Caesars Entertainment. All that said, let's talk about the pros and cons of Caesars Palace, and here they are. Pro number 1, Caesars Palace is still the it place to be on the Strip. It has, as I mentioned, the reputation, the pop culture icon status, and it is still one of the best places to be in Las Vegas to see and be seen. Pro number 2, the location of Caesars is obviously great. It's pretty much considered the center of the Strip. If you're looking for easy access to walking the Strip, you're not going to find much better than Caesars Palace. It also has the Forum shops attached, so there's a lot of indoor dining and shopping available, so it's the center of the action, and location-wise, you're not going to do any better. Number 3, I mentioned we didn't get to use it, but the pool was fantastic at Caesars. It's got a great pool scene, and if that's something you're looking for in season, you're going to be very happy, I think, with the pool at Caesars. All right, what are the cons? Well, I mentioned it earlier. I don't think there's any value at Caesars whatsoever. I think the room rates they're commanding at Caesars Palace are not commensurate with the experience you're going to find. I mentioned earlier those room rates, nearly $500 a night on the weekends in February, is pretty much outrageous for what is basically an average to maybe even below average room. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say, I don't go to Vegas to stay in the room, but if you're paying that kind of price, why not stay somewhere else and get a truly luxury room? So to me, that's the biggest con of Caesars. I think the value is very poor. Secondly, I think for a lot of people, the Caesars Palace experience is going to be completely overwhelming. The property is huge, it's absolutely enormous, and it is very confusing to get through. If you do want to see what the property is like as a whole, top to bottom, I will be putting out a Caesars Palace walkthrough next week, so subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that. Almost no matter what tower your Caesars Palace hotel room is in, you're going to be a long way from something. The Augustus Tower was not close to anything. The Octavius Tower is even worse, and I believe it's the Palace Tower all the way at the back center of the property. It is miles from the casino. It is a ridiculous amount of walking just to get from your elevators to wherever it is you want to go within your own hotel. I mean, Caesars Palace makes the MGM brand seem tight and compact in a lot of respects. And overall, especially for a first-time visitor to Vegas, I would not recommend Caesars Palace because I think you're going to be overwhelmed by the property. So the overall size and complexity of the casino layout, I think, is a big con to this place for a lot of people. So in the end, did we enjoy our stay at Caesars Palace? It was okay. Would we go back? Probably not. We don't understand the hype. We've been in there many times but never stayed, and we found pretty much exactly what we thought we were going to, which is an iconic property with a lot to offer, but it's just definitely not for us. Hey, that's it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss our videos when they come out in the future. I mentioned earlier we do have some more content coming from that stay, including a couple of restaurants and that complete walkthrough of Caesars Palace, so don't miss those when they come out. We'll see you in that next video because there's always more for us to show you on Show Me Vegas.